we need more or less?
Brushed in strokes on a bearded chin, drawn from a palette of ochre. Mottled in the winter sun are towering tributes emerging to an Indigenous footy giant in Sydney.
Adam Goods, if you're watching, this is for you.
As with his career-defining campaigns against racism, the Adam Goods mural commands attention, but it's symbolic and silent. A far cry from the protests of last weekend and planned repeats within 24 hours.
Do not go to those rallies. Do not go to those rallies.
The Prime Minister's urging police to charge people who turn out. The Health Minister's gone for more medical advice.
There are not safe mass gatherings.
A COVID-positive test returned by a man who attended a Black Lives Matter rally in Melbourne underscored his point.
Please do not endanger your fellow Australians.
While the Treasurer's wary of potential economic costs.
It was very unfortunate that they proceeded in the way that they did.
If a second wave of the virus sweeps the globe, the OECD's crunched the numbers, worth $25 billion to Australia.
They described the global economy as by contracting a further 1.6%.
The risk of a second wave can't be weighing too heavily on government thinking because the Prime Minister's pushing premiers and chief ministers harder than ever to name a date next month for the full reopening of their borders, a task he'll return to in earnest in National Cabinet tomorrow. They're the same leaders he's relying on to help reconcile the troubled past with Indigenous relations.
January the 26th.
Making a point about early British fleet settlements in Sydney Cove, Scott Morrison's drawn criticism from Labor's Indigenous caucus.
It was a pretty brutal place, but there was no slavery in Australia.
Friday of '67, the world was a bit different to what Mr Morrison might recall.
But of course there was slavery in Australia.
A history contested and conflicted at every step. Greg Jennett, ABC News, Canberra.